Okay, the starting is just using watercolor, whatever watercolor you have. It can be your, pan watercolor or watercolor that's in a tube, just whatever you have. You can also use ink, and we talked about that last night. You can also use ink, acrylic ink. You can also use, I guess, there's another brand. I think doctor somebody, I can't remember, but anyway, we talked about that last night. Okay, but anyway, you can use ink. You can use an ink pen, and when I do my ink pens, I can use I use either a Pilot, which is a water soluble ink pen, which is cool because when you use the ink pen and then you use a little bit of water, it kind of becomes like watercolor, so it softens the edges. I like that. But I also use a pen that is not water soluble. You can also use a big brush for painting. You can also use smaller brushes, brushes that are smaller. You can use line brushes. You can use just basically whatever brush you have. Let's see, I use a spray bottle. If you don't have a spray bottle, you can just wet your paper a little bit with a sponge before you start. You can also use an eyedropper with water to drop some paint or drop some water on your painted area if you want to use that. And of course, water. Clean water. It's important to have clean water. It's also important to have like 2 containers of water, one for water that might get muddy, the other for water that gets really that stays clean. Then of course you want to make sure that your water doesn't become muddy when you're doing this process. And of course, paper towels. I saw something new on YouTube that you can also use, and that is the end of a toilet paper roll. She used it in a different way, and I think I'm going to do that today with the extra toilet paper that's the end of the toilet paper roll to show you a technique that I thought was real cool. Okay, so that's your first part of this demo.